Well, guys, I have some sad news for Pixar here. But before I do that, I'm gonna get right into this, but before I do, please hit that like button and subscribe to my channel. I would really appreciate this a lot. I do news related videos occasionally, but I don't do them as much as I used to. Just because I'm kind of tired of talking about all this stuff here, but occasionally I'll talk about Hollywood and all that. Like, I'll talk about Paramount or Warner Brothers or Disney, whatever, happens that day or something, I'll talk about it. So, yeah, I'll be talking about Elemental apparently failing. Now, like I said, please hit that like button and subscribe because it would really help me out a lot. Now, let's go ahead and talk about this. So, I know that was kind of a weird introduction, but I'm trying to make it sound different, trying to try new things on my channel, because, I would like to try new stuff. But yeah, that's why I started off my channel like that, my video like that. But anywho, enough about that. We're gonna be talking about Elemental, because guess what? Elemental is now the worst performing Pixar movie of all time. Yes, it is the worst performing Pixar movie of all time. At least in its opening weekend, it is. If you guys don't know what Elemental is, it is the newest Pixar movie that has come out, and I'm not going to say my thoughts on it because I'm going to be doing a review on it. I was kind of debating if I want to do it or not because I kind of forgot a lot about the film, but I think I can actually do the review because I have a lot to say about it, so I decided I'm probably going to go ahead and do a review on it, but that won't be probably till tomorrow, But yeah, so, yeah, Elemental is basically the newest Pixar movie. It's basically about, elements and all that, and an Element City, which is kind of like a Zootopia city, and, it is not doing very well in the theaters. It is not. Like, it is performing poorly, like, really bad. Heck, I was in the theaters. I watched it. I watched it on Saturday, actually. I watched it with a friend. And there was hardly anyone in the theaters to see it. There was hardly anyone in the theaters. There was a few people, I think, that left the theaters. But there were, people in the theaters. But some people left. Because a lot of people think a lot of people find the film kind of boring and all that. And because it's like romance and stuff, because it is a romance film. It's like a romance film. And, I don't think that's part of really why it's failing. I think it's just people are just tired of Disney in general. People are just tired of them. They're tired of Disney. Disney is just in rough shape right now. They're in rough shape. I made a video on talking about them possibly selling Lucasfilm. Now, I've heard mixed reviews on it. I'm not saying that they'll sell it to George Lucas. That's just a rumor. But I am saying that they could sell something like Lucasfilm off or something to someone else if they could. Because it's a possibility. I'm not saying it will happen, but they're in rough shape. Like, Disney is in rough shape right now, and I know some people in the video thought that I was being serious, but it was more of a rumor. It wasn't meaning it was true. But yeah, Disney is definitely in a financial situation right now. There's talk that they're being forced to buy Hulu off, because Comcast is forcing Disney to buy Hulu off. And then you got their movies failing, and this one is no exception. This one is failing in the box office too. Now you may be thinking to yourself, well, why could it be failing? Why is this movie failing? It looks so neat looking. Well, the problem is, I think with this film here, the problem is with it is that it is that this film is basically it was not advertised very well. It was not advertised well at all. Like, there was a few trailers here and there, but there wasn't really a lot to this film. There wasn't a lot. And the fact that it failed and all that, it makes sense, because again, this film was not like advertised very well. Like, a lot of people, like even myself, was watching the trailers and being like, what is this film really about? Like, it's showing some clips here and there about the elements and stuff, but it's kind of just like, there's not really a lot to it. Like, so people don't really know a lot about the film watching the trailers. See, with the Mario movie, there's like the humor in the trailers, and they show off some stuff and all that. But here it feels like when they were showing the trailers off for it, there wasn't really a lot to it. But another thing is too, I think because Lightyear bombed, Lightyear was a flop. Lightyear was a disaster. Like, it was a dumpster fire. Like, I think it was a terrible movie. I don't think it was the worst movie I've ever seen, but it was pretty bad. It was boring, and it was just forgettable. And a lot of other people think the same way. And the fact that, again, it flopped, and some of the other films, like Turning Red and stuff, were not very good either. Well, Turning Red wasn't bad received by people, but it wasn't considered a classic. It was considered kind of like meh and all that. A lot of people were turned on it. So clearly Pixar has had some flops, and some that were movies that were good but not really the best, and that's the problem. So when people saw this film coming out, I feel like people just don't have faith in Pixar anymore. People don't have faith in Disney anymore, because Disney owns Pixar, and Disney is not in the best shape right now. They're not in the best shape right now. They're not in the best shape. They really aren't. Like I said, they're losing money. They're being forced to buy Hulu out, and their parks are not doing the best compared to Universal. They're just not doing very well. It doesn't help that they're woke. They keep firing people, like, and kicking people out. Like John Lasseter. Honestly, a lot of people say when John Lasseter was kicked out the door with Pixar, that's when Pixar changed. Speaking of Pixar, I did make a downfall video on Pixar. I'm probably gonna change the thumbnail, because I feel like some people are thinking that it's a RIP, like it means Pixar is done for. Now that video is just me talking about, its downfall, so I'll probably maybe put it in the link in the description so I can go into more detail on that, but I did bring up that John Lasseter was a big part of Pixar, and once he was gone, Pixar did not feel the same anymore. It did not feel the same. And a lot of the films that have come out since a lot of the movies that have come out since, Pixar, has, that have come out since Pixar, basically, since John Lasseter got fired from Pixar, have not been the best. Like Toy Story 4, that one was a dumpster fire, so was Onward. Onward was not very well received. Soul was good. Luca was... A lot of people didn't talk about Luca. Turning Red was just mixed, and Lightyear was a bonfire. So clearly, people just didn't have high hopes for, Elemental. And like I said, it was not well received either, like, because, with the trailers, because the trailers didn't show a whole lot, and it didn't advertise it very well. But yeah, I gotta say, though, a lot of people are saying this film is pretty good. It's not as bad as it looked in the trailers, which is good. Maybe the film might do a little bit better, but I doubt it's gonna probably get the numbers that it was counting on, because I think just people are just done with Disney. People are just done with Disney. It's not just, a lot of people are refusing to go to buy stuff from Disney and stuff because, they hate Disney now and all that. I've read comments. I know that for a fact. I'm reviewing Elemental because it's part of my job, on YouTube to review films. And I figured because I reviewed all the other Pixar movies, I might as well review Elemental too, But yeah, it's just a shame. It's a shame that, Elemental is not doing very well, But Disney kind of had it coming on themselves. They didn't advertise this movie very well. They set it out to fail like they did with Strange World, and they had a lot of flops. I mean, it's not just Pixar, but Disney has had a lot of bad movies. A lot of people do not like the Little Mermaid movie, the live action one. I've seen some people like it, but a lot of people don't like that live action one. That goes for their other live action remakes. Their animated movies are not doing very well, like Diary of the Wimpy Kid and stuff's not doing very well. People are just tired of Disney. I have a feeling Pixar may be at the end of the road here, honestly. Pixar could go. What could end up happening is Pixar could just merge with Disney Animation. I mean, they've already done it with Blue Sky. They've already done it with Blue Sky Studios. That's why we got that god-awful looking, Ice Age movie, that 6th one, that looks awful, because, Blue Sky, the people behind Ice Age with wonderful animation got shut down. Pixar could be next, which is a shame, but this is the way Disney is now. This is the way they are. This is just what they do now. They basically buy up all these properties, they run them into the ground, and they destroy them. That's what Bob Iger does. This is Bob Iger who bought up all these properties. And since he's the CEO again, I wouldn't be surprised if he shut Pixar down and merged it with Disney Animation. I mean, they're still around. They still got shorts and stuff, but they're definitely not. Their movies are definitely not doing very well. And Pixar used to be the king of animation back in the day. They used to be the king. That's why everyone kind of started copying Pixar and stuff, because Pixar, was really well known. Except DreamWorks. I think DreamWorks was I don't think DreamWorks really copied Pixar too much. DreamWorks pretty much was around about as long as Pixar was when it came to their movies. But still, I mean, they were still the king. I mean, some people preferred DreamWorks over Pixar, while some other people preferred Pixar over DreamWorks, but a lot of people really liked Pixar back in the day. But now they just don't stand out very well, they're not the same, and their movies are just bombing. And I will give you guys my thoughts on this movie probably tomorrow, if I have time. But I gotta go ahead and let things go, because I gotta call my mom called me, so I gotta call her, so we'll see where this goes. Maybe this movie might get better. It might do better, but right now it doesn't look like it's gonna do very well. So we'll have to see. But I'm gonna give you guys my thoughts on the movie tomorrow. Let's just say this movie is interesting. We'll just say that. I'll just tell you guys it's interesting. But I'll see you guys later. Bye bye.